Welcome back for your yummy update. Crypto over the weekend had some promising price action, but we're not out of the woods yet. We have President Pump meeting with President Winnie the Pooh about the China tariffs. We've got a lot of things that we've got to plug on through. For example, how we're going to navigate the economy with US Fed cutting rates, how we're going to actually get retail to come and buy the top for us and actually make the top. All these things are unknown to us right now, but good news. PulseChain's in the news today. Why? You have a lot of these reports, friends. So Ted Pillows, okay, not Ted Blanket, not Ted Sofa, Ted Pillows. Richard Hart deposited $61 million in ETH in Tornado Cash today. He still holds $500 million in ETH. So there's been a lot of reports all over crypto mainstream. Not sure why. Just today they decided to pick it out of nowhere. We've reported on this before. It's kind of old. He have even look on chain. Richard Hart has moved the money of Ethereum and stuff out here. Good. I like that. I like that. I don't want anybody to front run, and you don't either. Okay. You don't want, because you gotta remember, friends. People who buy think about what's front running. Non-believers who are not allocated now. Okay, they're too scared of the volatility. Yeah, because it means they don't believe. They don't believe, right? They don't see value in the long term. So if you saw PulseChain as worth 100 billion in the future, if it goes from 1 billion down to 0.5, which is what it done, 0.4, back up to 2, down to 1. Okay, remember, we're still thinking of 100 billion in the future, 100. The fact that it's hovering at, 0.5 to 1 to 2, back to 0.5, it's irrelevant for your long-term target, right? But if you're a non-believer G, what they want to do is they want to see a big whale buying, so then they buy this and they front run. That's what they want. Now that the funds are hidden, they can't do that. Okay. Now you might say, but Sommi, does that mean we're going to pump in 2 seconds? Nope. You don't know if it's even going to do it at all. You don't even know what the funds are going to be used for. No expectations. Okay. Obviously us, we know because you believe, we're like, yeah, of course something's going to happen, but people on sideline, they're not. They don't know what's happening, right? So there's been a lot of posts about it as well. Even Agent Chud, he's going to wash 9 figs through Hex again. It's funny. This is Agent Chud. The people are slowly figuring out, like, is something going to actually happen that's bullish? But they're not going to buy. They're not going to touch anything. They're only going to do it after the price goes up. And of like 20 people that do that post, one of them has got a just-in-case bag. I guarantee you that. One of them. Because there's always someone as it goes up, they're in, and then they start talking to everybody else. Someone goes in, and then they're like, I have a just-in-case bag, just in case Hex does something from that last cycle. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, you know what? It's all a bunch of scam cultists anyway, but money's money. They're going to start talking like that. That's the introduction of non-believers. But remember, what they're doing is they're just signaling to everybody else that they're just here as a mercenary to make money. And they're like, no, I don't believe in that. I'm just here to trade. But, they're the biggest losers of all because, one, they don't make as much money as you think, number one. And number two, they're just fooling themselves. It's just that they're scared to take a position in anything. But you wouldn't think with like a whole host of absolute abomination, scam, pathetic Jeet coins like Pump Fund, you would think people would like you have like George Droid, you have just the N-word everywhere. Like you would think people would like understand, hey dude, like XRP, Cardano, PulseChain, the communities are super, super, super passionate like early Bitcoin. That's why they're hanging around, right? But yeah, not everyone sees it, friends. You remember like their brains get overridden because they're full of soybeans in their brains. It gets overridden just by the candle, just like everyone else. Kind of funny as well. Look at this. Here's Choose Rich, Nick. Name literally anybody with more drip. You can't. And then Smalting, Richard Hart dethroned. So I mentioned here, friends, 2 days ago I was making videos, right, all about Choose Rich being this 2025 cycle version of the outrage marketing of Richard Hart. And now it's like entered the lexicon. I know they're watching. Hello, I know you're all watching. I know you're all. They're all watching right now. Okay, how do I know? I watch everybody else. They're all boring. They're all boring. You know what I mean? And God help you if it's one of those like 1 or 2 hour freaking streams. There's no energy, man. There's just like spending 3 minutes to try and answer a question. Or like they're spending 30 seconds like to try and bring up another page. Get your nipple pegs out. Believe in something. At least hypnotize me with a Pikachu and a key ring. And where are the lollipops? None of this makes sense until the price is up. And then when the price is up, it doesn't just stop there. You have your journey from peasant to king. They give you the crown, and I say, hey, remember my post from 2023? When they give you the crown emoji or the trophy emoji, click sell and walk away. Shout out to Mr. Shill Gates as well, friends. Mr. Shill Gates, for the first time in my PulseChain career, I'm a holder of pDAI. Thanks to your friend Sommi for pointing out the flash crash, I was able to buy some at a great discount. Price has recovered and I'm already in profit. This is purely a business play for me. Okay? Awesome. And actually, friends, it was funny. I told him later on, I told him to top it up. I go, because I think he had something like, I'll show you the picture. I made a cute picture as well. He had, I think, like 950,000. And then we saw him in the pDAI. I don't know if this is exact account, but it's funny. Someone accumulated buyer holdings exactly 1 million. And here's a young Bill Gates with his Microsoft Windows 3.1 showing his buy holdings. Bill Gates. Who would have thought, by the way, that guy would grow up to be a sociopath, some sort of evil, satanic, sickening curse where he's actually trying to eradicate the human population. Who would have thought, you know what I mean? Taking all those planes to Epstein's Island. Gosh, you know. So, Mr. Shill Gates coming out here. A lovely member from PulseChain community. And it's kind of funny. Unintentionally, you know, I've just covered this. Remember I told you, like, he's like, oh, it's just a business play for me. It's just a business play. I don't really believe it. I'm not like those idiots. Depends. Let me just show you something. Okay, so yes, pDAI did drop 40%. Okay. And it's here. It's still to me, I mean, like, it was if from today's price right now to get back to its 2024 high, it is a 13x return. Okay, 13x return. But here's the thing, right? This is like, you know, just so you understand markets and cycles, okay? When prices go up, it's not in a vacuum world where they just go up because they go up. No. If you see pDAI at not just 1 cent, at 5 cents, at 10 cents, it's because there's been big discoveries on chain. There's been updates. There's things you can see that are connecting. There's like, if you look at everything and you write it all down, you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, something big is actually being built here, right? But the only reason it won't be at $1 is because there's no liquidity to actually combine the pieces, all right? It's kind of like if, you know, BlackRock, okay, they don't have the actual announcement that imagine they have not posted that they're going to do a spot ETF. But, you know, some crypto KOL, like let's say Crypto Banter and Altcoin Daily and Ivan on Tech says, hey guys, I just got off the phone with a BlackRock employee and I double checked their email and they verified who they are. And they said they're thinking about doing a spot ETF. They want to bring me in for Bitcoin to talk about a spot, to talk about ETFs. You know, imagine you saw stuff like that. And then you saw more information. And then you saw a BlackRock executive give a speech at like one of these crypto conferences. You know what I mean? You're looking at it, you're like, oh, I don't see the announcement, but something's going on there. Do you see what I mean? That's why the price will adjust over time, because these things are extended. And why I'm mentioning that to you is because it's easy to say, oh yeah, it's a business deal now. It's nothing else. But you'll be surprised. That's why it's very hard to leave the ship. I mean, look at gold. Gold got to 4,300. Did everybody say, let's sell it? Nope. What did everybody say? They say, no. Now's the time to get in because central banks are buying. And then it dropped exactly 9.5%. Interesting poll. What gets listed first? PulseChain or pDAI? PulseChain PLS or pDAI? Literal garbage. I had a baby doll who told me to do this poll. I got a reason. There's a reason I got asked to do that poll, because even I'm shocked at the ramifications. I go, wouldn't it be funny? Don't ask me how. Just wouldn't it be funny? Summary as well. NineIronCapital. Today's Better Bank liquidations were the final goodbye to Catty's clan, who stuffed it full of the zero-cost pDAI they bought post-mint or ESM before the exploit. The good news is that this pDAI supply is finally back in strong hands. It's time for pDAI to go up. Shout out to Mr. Reptile Hybrid as well. Pegleg Larry. 99 must have said something similar to this a million times. It's all in the pDAI Telegram. We're almost there, friends. Look who's buying the supply. What a shit show. Yeah, I see it. I see it all the time. I'm still believing and I'm still holding. Also, friends, we do love markets here. We're going to play some PUBG music. You are my friend. Check out Counter-Strike skins market. Remember, friends, Gabe Newell's. So look at this. Crashes the biggest video game economy from $6 billion market cap down to $3 billion in less than 2 days. Makes thousands of traders face financial ruin. Makes all knives affordable for regular users. Goes back to his yacht to play Dota 2. Based Gabe. Okay, so that's what happened, friends. So the Counter-Strike economy, basically everyone hoards the skins. It's the network effect of the game. There's like NFTs, right? They have the skins that you can go around and play in game. Very, very strange, friends. This is so weird. The Counter-Strike freaking skins market was worth more than the entire crypto NFT market. Something's wrong with that, dude. The entire world of NFTs, that's just a game. But that's wild, man. I used to play, friends. I used to play Counter-Strike literally all the time. I loved it. I'm shocked at that size, man. NFT's that bad in crypto, but that's a real NFT, by the way. So NFTs is like games or other communities that they don't want a token. They want to trade stuff that makes sense. So that the Counter-Strike thing makes so much sense. But NFTs will be different for each world economy. You know, different world. You know, so World of Warcraft, they wouldn't have like, you know, knife skins. They'd have something else. But they're all NFTs. We just call them like digital collectibles. That's what they all are. PulseChain's only 0.5 billion market cap. Hex is tiny too. We have big potential in altcoins, 100%. Some friendly updates for everything for you as well, friends. Today, crypto is only 3.6 trillion and it's destined for 10. Okay, the racist Russell, remember, he's still holding above the all-time highs. We've got Michael Saylor buying 18 Bitcoin. He buys breadcrumbs at bottoms. Altcoins have been oversold for 2 years. Remember, it's been 4 or 5 year bear market, but they've been oversold for 2 years. Like they've been like way too low than they should have been for 2 years. Crypto KOLs are starting to recommend stocks. Have you noticed that? Crypto KOLs are saying to buy stocks. Bro, you are a grifter, all of you. You don't make money off stocks. You buy altcoins. Like, what type of Stockholm syndrome self-sabotage is that? Gosh, that's how bad it is out there. That's how it means strong hands. It means it's cheap, strong hands. Depression prices are for holding. There's too many bull signals out there. This is me uppercutting a Pepe. Check it out. This wonderful stuff. And yes, I have my wonderful foot up here, friends, as well. So we are still destined to make it. Price action hopefully continues. Let's see how we go. Like, subscribe. Catch you soon.